Yeah. In the book as well, you talk about using social media for learning. I think that this is something that, you know, very few of us actually do, although we do have, all of us, access to that resource. You talk about how you can use Facebook as a collaborative and experiential pedagogical tool. Would you mind sharing with us like an example of how you've used it before?
Sure, thanks, for sure, Mark. Now, let me touch on there are many social media tools out there, right? So perhaps Facebook is one that has been used, but I tend to always look at what is current, what is relevant, what is more contemporary. But let me go back and perhaps take one step and start off with emphasizing what is this all social media about? How can we connect these social media tools out there to educational learning? The leveraging point is really about the ability of us to shift from a kind of a very traditional mindset into a perspective of what the students can relate or resonate to. What are some of the features within the social media, whatever social media that you're using? I'm going to give you an example of how I tend to use Facebook as one of the many tools or social media tools I use. But before that, it's about the ability to understand what resonates with students. How can you actually make it in terms of the social aspect rather than a very rigorous kind of a monotonous kind of a traditional thing? So what do you break off? You break off to bring the students on board and try to engage them. Right? Try to engage them in that aspect. So for Facebook, as an example, what happens is that you can create an in-group. And so there are a couple of features of likes, comments that they can actually make. And this can be done in real time. And most, if not all of them, will have a Facebook account, and they tend to always do on a social aspect. Right? So I leverage on that because Facebook is something that they actually is part and parcel of their life, you know, in a personal aspect. But can we turn that into a learning? For example, in some of the topics, leadership, for example. So what I ask them to do is to find a video related to a concept that I'm teaching, and then the YouTube link, and then post it there. And the rest of the groups would tend to comment on that, and they would comment. And automatically, people tend to, even the introverts, tend to come in and make some comments. Now, this can happen real time. This can happen offline, depending on what is your design. There's no mandatory aspect. But the point that I want to bring across is that how do you connect to the students? How do you connect to the students? Perhaps we have to change. We have to be agile. Facebook may no longer be the best tool anymore. And I'm talking about when I was doing the research on this before I read the book 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, but perhaps even now it can be used, but there are more contemporary tools like Instagram, for example, TikTok, for example. Right now, TikTok has been the trend, and I tend to leverage on TikTok, on videos effectively, so that it kind of make that link to the students, and you're able to even push boundaries further.
So with this,